What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to Week 4 of the SSBA Pokemon Draft League. We are back with another week and another chance to hopefully redeem ourselves. Last week we had a rough loss to Kilowattrel. Kilowattrel completely destroyed us, but this week we have a chance for redemption as we go for hopefully another win, and I'm looking forward to giving that my best shot. Of course, before we jump in, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. As you can see, most people who watch the channel are not subscribed, so please don't be one of those people. Help us to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I think we can do it, but of course, I need your help. Of course, make sure that you click the bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded, and share this video with your friends. I normally post 2 times a week when it comes to D&D content, and this is something else that I am doing and hopefully will be continuing to do going into the future. So thank you all so much for your support on both my Dungeons and Dragons content as well as this. Before we jump into today's battle, I want to go through a brief team builder and take a look at what my opponent has at his disposal and what I can possibly bring today. Today we are facing up against Abomasnow. He is currently one of 3 coaches that are still undefeated, and I really hope that we can change that today. So let's take a look at what he's got here. So looking at his team, he's got a lot of really cool threats, and maybe you can start to see why he's undefeated. Great Tusk, of course, is a huge start. This thing is absolutely insane, very powerful, gets rocks, gets rapid spin, gets all kinds of amazing things that that make this thing worth using. It hits really hard, it gets really powerful moves. Definitely a huge threat, definitely one that I expect to come this week. Meowscarada, normally we would think of this as having bad typing, but it gets Protean, so who cares? It can just do what it wants to do. This thing is really fast, it hits really hard, it's got a move that always crits in Flower Trick, it gets priority with Sucker Punch, it gets a lot of really cool stuff. It can set spikes or toxic spikes. There's a lot of really cool stuff that this thing can do. Yet again, another mon that I'm kind of expecting to come this week. Skeledirge. Again, all of these mons that are the top picks, I just think they're really good into my team. Skeledirge is really hard for my team to deal with, and so I definitely expect that to come this week. It's very, very bulky, surprisingly bulky. It gets unaware, so it doesn't care about any kind of stat boosts, which is a huge problem. Of course, Torch Song can allow it to boost up and get kind of out of hand in that way as well. So it's a very threatening mon that I definitely think could make an appearance this week. Rotom Wash, of course, I wanted this over Rotom Heat, but this is the team that actually took it before I could get to it, and it's really good into my team. I'm also kind of expecting that to come this week, just because I don't have a lot of good checks into it. And then Gothitelle. Gothitelle actually is his Terra Captain, and it is the kill leader for the entire league so far. This thing has been going on a tear. In 3 games, it's gotten 10 kills. One of those games, it got 5 kills in a row, which is insane. I say that insane because, you know, I got hit by something that got 5 kills last week, so, you know, it's not unheard of, but it's definitely very powerful. My opponent has played the Gothitelle very, very well this season. Obviously, it's definitely coming, and I have tried to prepare around it in a way that I think I should be okay. As long as I don't get swept by Gothitelle, I think I will feel pretty accomplished this week. And then, of course, there's a bunch of other stuff that my opponent has. We've got Goodra, which can be a really big pain on the special side. Very bulky, gets a lot of really good varied coverage. Really decent bulky dragon. We've got Diancie, which is his fairy type. Also another good rocker with things like Diamond Storm. This thing can kind of get out of hand. We've got things like Reveroom. Reveroom, of course, can set spikes. It can parting shot around in order to get in Gothitelle. That's definitely a big thing that was used week 1, and what led him to his victory there was parting shotting out into the Gothitelle and then setting up Gothitelle because something else was trapped in. We've got Uxie, which is always just a solid pivot, a solid psychic type in order to set screens or to just be kind of annoying and kind of deal with status, that kind of thing. Iron Jugulus, which I kind of think is coming this week. I think it's really good into my team. I'm really expecting Scarf Jugulus this week. I think that is a really, really good check. into my team. It hits pretty hard. Its typing isn't the best. It's not the best mon out there, but into my team, it's actually quite good. And so I've got to really be careful with that one. Then Magneton could be interesting. I don't necessarily expect it to come this week, just because I do have a Rotom right there. But maybe we'll see. And then there's also Venomoth here, which is a maybe. I don't feel very strongly about Venomoth coming. My prediction is that it will be Great Tusk, Meowscarada, Skeledirge, Rotom, Gothitelle, and Iron Jugulis. That's my guess so far. And then I've got a couple contingencies that we'll talk about as we look at my team. So what are we bringing this week? What are we going to do to counter the undefeated Miltanks that we are facing? Well, Cetitan looks really good this week. Cetitan just overall was kind of a no-brainer in my opinion, and I came close to bringing like a Life Orb set or even like a Choice Banded set, but then I'm like, no, we got to do Belly Drum here, and Belly Drum really makes a huge difference here because there are several key kills that I don't get even if I'm banded that I do get when I am setting up the Belly Drum, and so I really had to go with this week. Obviously, Skeledirge completely ignores all of that, and so I'm not going to be able to do this as long as Skeledirge is around. An Earthquake from Cetitan does about half. So if it's less than half, then we're okay, as long as it doesn't get a chance to slack off. But as long as it's over half, Cetitan cannot do its thing. So that's one thing to be careful of. But we've got 196 speed. That's enough speed to outspeed a max speed Gothitelle if we happen to not be in snow. That was one big key break point that I wanted to make sure that I made on this, just because I don't think getting outsped by something like that would be a good thing, especially if this is what got trapped in. If I'm outside of snow or something like that, I need to be able to outspeed it. So that's why I chose that. And making its first appearance here, as you all know, last week we traded Chestnut in for Abomasnow, and Abomasnow is here this week, bringing the snow. I'm leaving the Slowking on the bench this week just because I don't think it matches up well into his team. He's got the Meowscarada, he's got the Iron Jugulis, he's got the Skeledirge, he's got a lot of stuff that does really well into my Slowking, and so I just felt like that wasn't the call this week. And so I think we can get away with this week. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Aurora Veil here to help us from getting swept by anything that's hitting us really hard. It also helps Cetitan in setting up the Belly Drum to be able to take a big hit if we need to. We're fully specially defensive to help us to kind of survive a little bit longer if we have to go up against something like Gothitelle. But basically my game plan is if I need to switch this thing in earlier in the game for something like Rotom, I'm going to immediately switch it out because Volt Switch could be a problem. Volt switching into Gothitelle is definitely something that I expect. And so basically I would let you do that against something else. But I don't want to let this get trapped and get taken early on because then Cetitan can't sweep. So I've got to be really careful about letting this get trapped in because otherwise it probably will just lose. So got to be careful with that. Next up, Sneasler. And you know that I always run the weird techs with Sneasler. This week is no different. My opponent does not do well into ghost types. Ghost type hits really hard. And ghost types also cannot be trapped by Arena Trap. So we're going with Terra Ghost this week with a spell tag this week actually in order to boost the power of that attack. This allows us to pick up several key KOs and match some really decent breakpoints, especially for Skeledirge, because otherwise Skeledirge completely walls this. Yes, I could run like Rock Slide or something, but it really doesn't do all that much. And so this is going to help me to hit it way harder. We've got U-Turn, of course, to help us to do momentum and that kind of thing. I've just got enough speed on it to deal with Iron Jugulis. I don't have enough speed to outspeed Meowscarada because 1, I deal with Meowscarada anyway, and 2, it's faster than us naturally, so I don't care. So that allows me to have a little bit of extra bulk on here, which is decent. Not that Sneasler is bulky to begin with, but you know, every little bit helps. Next, we have Dragapult, and Dragapult is hopefully going to kind of be the star of the show, or at least the breaker in this scenario. I'm bringing 2 different ghost type moves this week just because I do have Will-O-Wisp on a later member, and so if it does get statused, then Hex will end up doing a little bit more. But most of the time, I'm probably going to be clicking Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor does a ton with Modest Scarf. It does enough to where it's going to OHKO most things on his team, or at least it will on a second go, which is going to be really, really helpful for breaking certain mons that definitely need to be broken. Of course, we're kind of feeling out where Gothitelle is on its Terra type. My guess is that we don't see a Diancie and that we get a Terra Fairy this week, but again, Terra Fairy doesn't do well into Sneasler, and so it's one thing that's really nice about having Dragapult plus Sneasler is that they kind of discourage each other's counters from coming. One can usually deal with the other, but basically I've got enough speed to outspeed anything that's not Scarfed. I gotta watch out for Sucker Punch from Meowscarada, but as long as it doesn't have that, then I outspeed, and we can just click Draco constantly as long as there's no fairy, and it just does a huge chunk to everything. And so that's kind of the game plan, is break early with Dragapult with clicking Draco, and then after that hopefully clean up with some other things later, pivoting around of course with something like my Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat is going to be fully specially defensive once again. My opponent's mons really aren't insane on the physical side that I'm really worried about. Meowscarada I can deal with. Great Tusk I can kind of work around. That's going to be a little tough, but I've got plenty of stuff that's faster than it, and I've got some spin blockers. I've got 2 mons that'll be ghost types, so those are going to block Rapid Spin, which can keep it from boosting its speed. So there's a lot going on here that really helps out with that. But we do have Light Screen plus Will-O-Wisp here. Yes, it's redundant having Aurora Veil plus Light Screen, but I might lose Abomasnow, and so I want to make sure that I have a backup strat for that Gothitelle or the plethora of other really powerful special attackers that my opponent has. That'll definitely help. And then Will-O-Wisp of course helps me against things like the Tusk. That'll definitely help to shut that down quite a bit. And finally, Hoopa. We're bringing another weird Hoopa set. We're always running weird Hoopa sets here on the channel. And we're running the Blunder Policy this week. Blunder Policy, of course, is going to give you +2 speed boost if you are to miss a move, and we're going special this week. We've run physical every single week so far, and I think my opponents have kind of come to expect that. I'm going with Modest Max Special Attack, which is going to hit like a truck, and we've got Shadow Ball, Psychic, and T-Bolt. That hits pretty much everything on his team. No Dark move this week, but I don't think we really need it. I think we're okay with those 3. And then Focus Blast, hopefully we can miss with one of those, which is a weird thing to say, and get a +2 speed boost. I've got enough speed to outspeed a Choice Scarfed Iron Jugulus if we get our Blunder Policy, and then we can knock that out of course with a Thunderbolt. So that is the team this week, and I'm really hoping that we can pull out another win. We're not, we're not out of playoffs yet, but we definitely are kind of riding that line, and so definitely need a win this week. So I'm going to go ahead and join up with my opponent, and we will jump right into the battle. All right, here we go. Good luck to my opponent here. We are jumping in. What do we want to do? Let's do Team Star Boss. That's what I'm feeling this week. I haven't found a good groove of which music is my good luck yet, so we'll have to find which one works best for us. But I am very much looking forward to this match. I'm hoping that we can pull out a win this week. It's been a while since we've had a win. We won week 1, and then we've had kind of a dry spell. So I'm hoping that we can pick that back up and even out our record at this point. So that would be really nice. That would be very, very nice. So hopefully my opponent will be joining up here in just a second. He said he is searching, so we should be on in just a second. Trying to think what else I could possibly need to be prepared for. I feel like my game plan is at least somewhat solid, and I feel like my predictions are at least somewhat solid overall. And I'm really hoping that that we get at least most of our picks worked out here. Because yeah, he could bring something just absolutely off the wall, and then I end up being in a bit of trouble. But Cetitan, there we go. Cetitan typically is going to cover pretty much his entire team, and so we should be good. Okay, so we see, what did he not bring? No Rotom. Okay, that's pretty good. No Rotom, and we've got Tusk, we've got Meow, we've got Dirge, no Rotom, and no Jugulus. Okay. I think we can deal with this team. I don't think that it's that bad. So we've got Diancie, we've got Dirge, Tusk, Meow, Goth, and Goodra. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so we just have to be careful with having the fairy type there. Because otherwise Dragapult goes crazy, but I don't see why we don't lead with that. We definitely are going to be looking to see if he has a Scarfer. I was expecting there to be the Iron Jugulus being scarfed, so he could run. I feel like Scarfed Meowscarada doesn't make any sense here because the only thing that seeks to outspeed is the Dragapult, so that doesn't seem like a whole lot. That doesn't seem like much of a possibility. If you're going to run Tusk, you probably run Booster. Okay, so we get the Meow lead here. So my assumption is that my opponent sees that I don't have Treads and is going to try to set up some kind of hazards here. And I'm just going to click Draco straight away. My assumption is that you're here to set up toxic spikes or regular spikes or something like that. And he is scarfed. And we lose that turn one. Oh boy. Off to a terrible start. Great, great, great. So we're going to go into this now. Okay. Man, that's so bad. That's so bad. I click Overheat here. If you want to bring in Tusk, you can bring in Tusk. Because Tusk would absorb the Volt Switch. Yeah, Dragapult was my main breaker here, so that's really hard. Okay, Goodra comes in instead. That's fine. It's going to do 0. I'm just going to Volt Switch out here. I'm not really concerned about anything. It might go for like a Muddy Water or something, but I'm fully specially defensive, so I should take that pretty easily, I would think. But Goodra's not very fast, so we outspeed that, even with no speed. So, I mean, that indicates that he doesn't have any speed either, which isn't that surprising. Yeah, that's really not surprising at all. Well, our main check to that is now gone on turn 1, which is really, really bad. So, what do we do about this? Let's see. I do need some chip on this in order to get it to a range that I can really handle it. I'm gonna go into Karen here. Should be able to take anything he wants to go for. Just goes for the pulse. Okay, we take that pretty easily. I'm clicking U-turn here. I'm not trying to predict anything yet. Like I said, I need to get this thing chipped down a little bit before I can try to make any kind of big play. Yeah, so he switches. That's fine. I just want to get back out of here. What is your switch into this? It's the Dirge. Okay, I would love a poison on this with Poison Touch. I get a crit, which we do get the Poison Touch. Okay, that's huge. That is huge. Okay, that is very helpful. And then I can go right back into this. Oh, was he Rocky Helmet? I bet he was. I wasn't looking, but I'm pretty sure he was Rocky Helmet. I'm going to set up a light screen here. I assume you go back to Gudra, and that's fine. Okay. It's actually this. You're probably going to try to set rocks here. I'm going to burn this. And I mean, I'm bulky on this thing, so I don't think I should have any problems here. Yep, there's the rocks. That's fine. But I get to burn this, which is definitely going to help in limiting the damage later on, except that I missed. Oh, boy. Okay. I don't really have anything else that I want to switch in on this. I mean, he could go Dirge here, but I mean, and that's fine. If you want to go Dirge, that's another, I mean, that's another turn of poison that you're going to take, so that's fine with me. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of chip to Gudra. Like I said, we just need to get this thing chipped down a little bit. Yeah, close combat does 69 to 82, so we just need a little bit more chip on this. And I'm going to Volt Switch into Hoopa. Should be able to take anything he wants to do. And so yeah, we're just getting a little bit of chip. We're getting close to the range. We're getting close. Hoopa should be able to take about anything we want to go for. My opponent's probably expecting me to be physical this week. Like I said, I switched it up and I'm special this time. I should be able to take that through light screen very easily. Yeah, we do take that very comfortably. So that is good. I don't really do all that much damage to this. Psychic is my best option. And I mean, I don't know what your switch into this is really. I mean, I guess you could go Meowscarada, but I mean, I feel like Focus Blast actually isn't that bad. And I might miss. I'm gonna go ahead and click that. Okay, we do see the switch. Possibly expecting the Psychic move. Nope, just straight Diancie. Okay. I mean, that... We do miss. Okay, well, I guess it's go time. I was hoping for that to come a little later, but I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna click Psychic here. Yeah, I just stay in and click Psychic. This does a little under half to max HP. Right at half. And I steal your Light Clay? Okay. So Magician actually going off. That's going to be kind of massive, actually. Because now it's only 5 turns instead of 8. And I feel like I can probably stall that out. Obviously, this one's going to be doing half as much. But I also have screens up. So this is going to do about 25. Roughly. Oh, he does carry that. Okay. probably should have switched there, but getting rid of that light clay is kind of huge because now Sneasler comes in. And I feel like my best play here is to click Terra Blast and go ahead and Terra, because that definitely KOs from this range. And Dirge could come in here. That's what I'm going to do. He stays in. Okay, so he's giving me Diancie. Doesn't get Reflect, which is good. We don't get Reflect. We have less turns of Light Screen. So that means that Cetitan is a thing. Rocks are up, so that's, you know, that's tough. But we can hopefully still deal with that. We're not out of it yet. So Diancie is out of here. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, so my opponent is Scarfed, so definitely faster than me. I go Rotom every day of the week on this, so I'm not dealing with that. And I did bring Boots this week, so never mind. No longer have Boots. My gosh, that's so much damage. So I've only got one more switch in at this point. Trying to think what the best option would be. Basically, limiting damage here is my best option. Skeledirge is is getting into range here pretty soon with that poison, to where Cetitan might be able to deal with this thing very soon. I think I click Volt Switch here. I don't think it's quite time for Cetitan. I'm clicking Volt Switch. Might go into Tusk. No, it's this. Okay, so that's more chip. That's more chip. I mean, I could go into this. Dirge is really my only problem at this point. That's my issue is Skeledirge. Against Goodra. And it's 69 to 82. I'm close with close combat. I'm really close. I think I go for it, and I can always switch moves or switch out after. I've got a couple more switch ins on rocks. Yeah, if that's not there, it's at least close. I mean, I guess he could be like fully Fizz Def, but I feel like that's not the way to do this. I'm clicking CC here. Okay, he does switch, so probably going into Dirge. Nope, it's Tusk. Okay. Okay, that deals pretty good damage. Okay, we learned that it is leftovers. Yeah, I mean, he's probably got some physical bulk on this thing. That's going to be the most damage that we could do. I don't want to stay in on this. Because I can't quite knock this out. The problem is I can't set up on this either with something like... I can't really set up on this either, which is what's hard. I need Veil. I'm gonna U-turn. Poison Touch. Nope, didn't get it. Didn't get it. I'm just gonna sack this. It goes down to Rock. Oh no, it doesn't. I have more health than I thought I did. It also, if you go for Headlong Rush, it's free. Went for Rock Slide, that's fair. That's the problem with this thing. This thing is so bulky. Problem is close combat has a chance to... Oh, close combat definitely KOs this. Definitely KOs this. I think I've got to go back into Sneasler. And close combat, that's got to go down. I mean, the thing, no matter what, I'm not going to be able to get my belly drum off. And with that not happening, I don't know that I can win. Because I'm going to have to come in twice on rocks. Because, yeah, this is my last switch in on rocks. And, I mean, close combat does not KO here. If he's no bulk, then it's like a max roll, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah, so he's bulky. I must have just gotten a really high roll the first time around. So he does have Earthquake instead of Headlong Rush. That's important to know, I guess. Yeah, close combat just OHKOs both of my mons here. So I don't think I have a win condition here anymore. I don't think I do. Scarf Meowscarada was the tech. Scarf Meowscarada was definitely the tech. And that's what got me. That's what got me. I'm gonna go for a last ditch Veil, but it's not. Well, hang on. I live Rock Slide. But I get flinched. And that's what'll lose me the game, that flinch, because I think I had a shot. I OHKO'd everything on his team. Dirge was maybe questionable, but I could have taken on his team. That's really annoying. That was my shot. Well, I mean, maybe he doesn't have close combat. I don't know, but I at least had a chance of getting something going. That's really disappointing. I mean, the thing is, I have to go for drum here. There's literally nothing else I can do, because otherwise I just lose. But even then, I don't think I can pull it back. Okay, he lets me set drum. And he goes, what? Yeah, Dirge is too healthy. Dirge has way too much health. Yeah, Torch Song KOs here. And Earthquake would have to crit here. That's the thing, if I had screens... If I had screens, I lived to Torch Song. If I had screens, I lived to Torch Song comfortably, actually. So, yeah, if I could have gotten my screens up, I could have possibly won this game. I could have very possibly won this game. But I'm going to lose on... Oh, gosh. That might have been a 2-hit KO. I don't know. It was close. But no, it would have been a 2-hit KO after poison. So if I had gotten screens, up, I would have won. Because I could have lived that Torch Song. It would have done about 30. I had right at like 50-ish. So yeah, because I took 50, gained back 25, so I was at 50. And he would have done 30 with Torch Song. So that is really unfortunate. All of it coming down to a flinch at the end. Like I said, it might have been a roll on that last one, but I think with the poison damage, I had it. And then, of course, Ice Shard would have taken out Meowscarada. He was Scarfed, so he's not going to be running Sucker Punch. So that would have gone down. And then I would have been able to take down everything else on his team, too. So, that's really frustrating, because I could have won that. I could have easily won that if I had done that and not thought so highly of him not bringing Scarf there. I wasn't expecting Scarf. I should have expected Scarf. It makes sense. And so no, I get it. So what could have been a really good comeback victory for Cetitan goes away on a flinch and a bad play on turn 1. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So that is our game for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next week we're gonna continue on. I believe if we lose next week and on, I believe we're out. So we've basically got a win out from here, and maybe we'll have a chance at playoffs. Maybe not. We'll just have to see. But make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss next week's videos, and of course all of my Dungeons & Dragons stuff as well. Until then, stay safe out there, stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.